Rainy conditions in the Tour of Germany today, although not as many crashes as we unfortunately had in some of the other races. It was a jam-packed Friday full of racing, Tour de l'Avenir, Limousin, Renewy Tour, Tour of Britain Women. But here we have the Deutschland Tour. We have the only sprint stage opportunity for many of the riders here. Even for Magnier, who won the prologue, this is probably the only road stage he's got a chance in, as well as Magnotti on Bora, Walscheid on Little Trek. There are some hills at the start, including the Juxkopf, which is 1k at 12%. Would Del Toro try anything there? It looked like it, but there was pre-coverage because there were splits in the peloton, but then when coverage started, we saw rainy conditions, Quick-Step controlling the three-man breakaway at a gap of about 1 minute 40, and they were getting help from UAE, but UAE don't have a sprinter. So why UAE chasing and also closing the breakaway more than Quick-Step would have probably liked at this point in the race? And the answer was the only flat bonus sprint, intermediate bonus sprint was available on this stage. So for Del Toro, who's very fast, there's potentially 3 seconds he can take on Louis Barret, who's not as fast on the flat. And here we see that intermediate sprint, the lead-outs beginning. UAE have a train of 4 riders in front of Del Toro. Barret's all out of position. He loses the wheel of a Little Trek. Vacek goes across to that lead-out. Vacek also can take bonus seconds. He's still in GC for Little Trek. It's Langen, then Morgado, and we've got Pollitt in front of Del Toro. Verona brings Walscheid back into it. Ciccone wasn't there, so he couldn't contest the sprint. 700 meters to go, and there's a left-hander. Morgado sparks it, keeps the pace really high, whilst Barret is trying to sprint and move up. He does the dive bomb on the outside. First, he's inside there, and then he slides outside, underneath Vacek, underneath the Bahrain rider, and then goes shoulder to shoulder here with Del Toro through the corner, trying to take Pollitt's wheel off him, and he needed to almost sprint left straight out of the corner to claim that wheel of Pollitt. He loses that fight and then also keeps sprinting side by side, so he probably should have just slotted onto Del Toro's wheel rather than trying to fight him side by side for Pollitt's wheel. Loses that fight, Vacek slides up underneath him, and then Del Toro is able to take not just the 3 seconds, it's not 6 seconds, 3 seconds. Pollitt takes a couple of seconds, Vacek 1 second, Barret takes none, so Del Toro cuts his GC deficit by a third, down from 9 seconds to 6 seconds, so job done for UAE Team Emirates. Got a couple of hard stages left starting this weekend, but now it's about the sprint, 6Ks to go. Soudal Quick-Step have the big favourite, that's why they pulled all day. Paul Magnier, we've got Bora on the right-hand side. Little Trek, I didn't know if they'd go for Teutenberg or Walscheid. Tobias Muller is the sprint option for the Unibet Rose Rockets, and 2.2Ks to go. We see it was pretty calm up until about 3Ks to go, to be honest, because it was a hard stage in the beginning, and then there's a lot of climbers here, and it's pretty much like 3 dominant lead-outs: Trek, Red Bull, Bora, Hansgrohe, and Soudal Quick-Step. But Quick-Step opted to wait behind. They're waiting behind, waiting. You can see them peeking out behind Little Trek on the bottom left of screen. Alpecin are on the open right side with 5 riders. They try to move up here, but the long train, you got riders getting chopped off it. Magnotti's got the short train. He's got Van Poppel in front of him. Just 2 riders trying to place him in position for the last K, whilst Quick-Step are looking for that exit as Vacek's going to speed up on the left-hand side. He tells, I think, Benjamin Thomas to stay right. We've also got Bauhaus for Bahrain, but he's only got 1 rider in front of him at this moment. Then he gets shuffled back a little bit through the Flamme Rouge for the final, or the only flat sprint. It wasn't too wet, still a little bit damp. You see Quick-Step, they're trying to move up left. Eventually the space opens, but then the Quick-Step, the Little Trek train gets in between, so Magnier's a little bit deep. I don't think that was a problem, though. I think they would have been too early. Magnotti's having to surf himself. He actually gets shuffled back. Here the exit opens for Quick-Step. It's looking good for Magnier. He lets Walscheid pushes him off the wheel. Degenkolb pinches him, so he gets pinched by the 2 experienced Germans. Gives up the wheel. I still don't think that was a problem, because then he gets the lead out from Walscheid, The big draft, he fights them off. Magagnotti's in the open space on the right-hand side eating wind, and you've got two guys in front of you with like 450 meters to go. It's actually the perfect competitive position he's in, but here you see Leitao launches. You'll see it better in the overhead. Magagnotti sees him as his leader. He can shoot from the back on the back of Leitao, the Caja Rural rider, slingshot into his draft, come out of the draft, and then actually beats Paul Magnier. Two young riders, probably not too dissimilar in age, but Magagnotti's a first-year U23 and wins a big professional race ahead of the sprinter who won multiple Giro stages this year in front of Jonathan Milan, who won the points jersey. Magagnotti gets the slingshot, bang, comes out. He's got a very unique sprinting style, and he wins comfortably in the end, going away from Paul Magnier. So big win for Red Bull and their young sprinter. I think the rumor is he's too good to not be on the World Tour team next year, so we'll see if he gets promoted. He's ahead of Magnier, Leitao third, then Walscheid, Bauhaus, Müller, Degenkolb, Biermans, Ulich. Haller, here is what the Italian had to say.
Sì, è un sogno battere Paul perché abbiamo visto tutti al Giro d'Italia cosa è riuscito a fare e sì, ora me lo godo, diciamo, anche se domani sarà un altro giorno.
In terms of GC, as I said, Del Toro is now only 6 seconds behind Louis Barret. You've got 10 seconds available at the finishes, of course, and 3, 2, and 1 seconds available at some of the intermediate sprints. Big Queen stage tomorrow. Hope you enjoy the video. See you the recap then. Ciao, ciao.